Education is the key, but are we really equipping the students with the right resources? Welcome to Campus Vibe. Today I would be interacting with students of Abrigos to ascertain their takes on the government prioritizing entrepreneurship education over traditional courses. Let's quickly delve into it. Carissa, I want to know, should the government prioritize traditional courses over entrepreneurial education?
Okay. No, I do not think so because not everybody has an interest in being an entrepreneur. Not everybody wants to start up their own business. People want to work under others. People have their own different career paths. And then entrepreneurship is a very broad topic which needs in-depth explanation and which needs to be seriously studied. And then if it is added to our curriculum, we already do a lot of subjects. There are about 8. And then if it's added, it's going to be a whole lot, and then students are going to end up breaking down. So I do not think it's good to add that to our subjects.
So what if we scrap some subjects and then we input entrepreneurship?
As I said before, entrepreneurship is something which needs in-depth explanation and in-depth knowledge. So I don't think it's good to do that at all because we need the basic subjects which is given to us in senior high schools. These include math, science, economics, geography, just to mention a few.
Great. I see a hand raised here. What do you think?
Well, I would say entrepreneurship is basically implementing your ideas, your dreams, your minds, making it a reality. Because sometimes people go to school and when they come out of school, they are not employed in the government sectors. And yes, looking at our economic situation now, people come out of schools, they are not employed and all that. So I would say I'm for the motion, yeah.
So you actually think that the unemployment rate is dependent on the fact that we are not teaching entrepreneurial education in our schools? You think that's a problem?
Yes, because I feel when entrepreneurship is being introduced in our curriculum, most people will that's when most people will implement their talents, skills, and all that, and that's where they'll generate more income. Yes, to
All right.
reduce the dependency ratio.
Okay. Who actually shares in the same grade?
Okay, I actually do not share in her opinion
Okay.
because most of the time when entrepreneurship is taught in school, it's usually romanticized, it's usually sugar coated. They do not tell you about the challenges and the risks involved in being an entrepreneur. Most of businesses set up by people, most of them fail. And they do not tell you that. They tell you, oh, it's good, you can make your own money. You don't get people to be over you and all that. That is another reason as to why I do not share in her opinion.
Well, that's a very brilliant point. All right, I see a hand here.
So if they romanticize it, I don't think they actually romanticize it because when you study it in SHS, let's say it's introduced in SHS, and like you are being opened to it from secondary school. So by the time you get to maybe the tertiary institution, you are aware of the risk you are going to take because you have a fair idea of what is actually going to happen. And let's say maybe you now have to go and study your career path in uni. You have no idea about what you are going to study, and then right after uni you say you are going to open a business. How would you know what you are going to do? So I feel like it should start from even basic school because look at China. China has most of their young people, children as young as 6 years, making a lot of things, and then they bring it down to Africa, and we are buying it and we are holding it around, and you think it's flags. Are you not ashamed of yourself? Hello. So I think we should also introduce it into a basic education system. Yeah.
But don't you think that if we introduce entrepreneurship into our educational system, we would have to revise our curriculum? Great.
I don't think so because moreover we have math and we have other subject that is also giving us an idea of what we want to do in future. Because something like math, I study business, so with business like this there's financial accounting and other stuffs. It's telling about what you want to do, things that you're supposed to bring up together to create a business. So as an individual, if they add that, if they add it to our curriculum, I don't think it's going to be something that is going to affect us. It's really going to help us and help us to go forward. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Carissa's hand is up again. What do you have to tell us?
Okay, so I don't agree with the point that she made because everything involves money. It's going to take a lot of money to be able to get our textbooks and be able to train the teachers to come and teach us and all that. And already, Ghana, we are in debt. We owe a lot of money. So if you are now coming to add this thing into like our curriculum, it's going to take a huge sum of money from our pockets.
All right. Who else think it is high time the government prioritize entrepreneurial education over traditional courses?
I think the government should prioritize entrepreneurial education over traditional courses. That's because if they inculcate it into our secondary schools now, and as we are exiting the secondary school to the tertiary school, by the time we leave, we'll have the skills, and then these skills we can use it to employ ourselves, and it will reduce the burden on the government to create more employment. And as you can see now, Ghana economy is very hard, and it's really hard for the government to create more employment.
Well, I get it. But let's also not forget the fact that if you need to be an entrepreneur, you need capital. How do we set up ourselves, even after high school or during high school, to start doing something? Because you can be taught something and you wouldn't put it to action, right? Great.
So I feel like we're in senior high school and everything involves money. So the least thing, hello mommy, I need this amount of money. And usually you spend the money on a lot of things that are not necessary. So you could actually save up, like even if it is 5 cedis a day. By the time you are done with high school, 3 years, like you would have a lot of money. And you could start something small. It doesn't have to come big. You could start something small. So maybe you are starting an iced kinky business. You buy kinky, like 50 cedis, you buy milk, you buy granules, and then you start, when people start patronizing it, and then it goes like bit by bit, and then you would actually make it. It doesn't have to be a whole big like show for everyone to see that you are doing something big.
So you are proposing that they start the business after school.
Yes, something like that. They could start after school. Some parents could have the resources to support their children. And for those who are quite unfortunate, they could save up. They could do something here or there to like bring money. Or they could ask for sponsorship. That's why there are a lot of sponsors around. Or they could take a loan or something.
They can take a loan to start a business. That's quite interesting. I can imagine a 17-year-old walking to a bank to ask for a loan to start a business. Okay. Who shares in the same light or has a different perspective? Great.
Like I side with her, but like some people also think that education is not a key to them. So like they feel like those like talk to their parents to be like, oh mommy, please if you can help me like start up a business because I can feel that mine is not education. And then even if I continue I might end up failing or something. So they prioritize like they take it upon themselves to like start their own business. Not like wait till when they write wasi and they don't do and then people will be like, why didn't you do well and all those stuff. And some people already think that oh Charlie I can't do this and then it's too difficult. Yeah.
So you think entrepreneurship should be taught on our campuses, in our schools? Okay. Well, I'm back to her again.
Okay, so if everybody starts a business after senior high level, where will our doctors be? Where will our nurses be? Where will our bankers be? Sure, being an entrepreneur is a good thing, but we also need our doctors, our bankers, and all that. And as I said earlier, it can be done, but it should be studied in colleges, universities, because it needs a lot of attention. Senior high school is our foundation. We need a very strong foundation. So, and those are like the basics. That's where we start up from. Yeah.
Well, I see a lot of hands. Let me quickly move to Angel. Angel, what do you think?
Okay, so people are talking about the fact that unemployment in the country, but the money the government is going to use in buying new books, training teachers for them to teach their entrepreneurship. Why don't they invest it in creating more jobs? And I agree with Caris when she said, where are we going to get our doctors from, our teachers from? Should we now bring them from other countries to come and do this work in Ghana? So yes.
Well, that's quite an excellent point.
Personally, I agree with what she said because if we all sign entrepreneurs, who will take over the government? Which people will be the politicians? And we have lack of practical experiences. There are not enough equipment in some of the schools already. That's what I'm suggesting.
Yeah, she's raised a very, very essential point. There are not enough equipment. Do you agree with that?
Actually, I do, but like she said, like Angel said, who is going to be the doctor or the lawyer or I want to ask a question. How much does a doctor earn at the end of every month that could like literally sustain the person? What if I have 3 kids and at the end of the month I'm paid 2,000 Ghana cedis and my kids' fees are like 5,000 Ghana cedis because I know that I want to take my children to a good school and then I want them to have like formal education despite like them having other skills which we can build upon. I earn 2,000 Ghana cedis a month. If I have something else like event planning or event decor at the end of every weekend in Ghana, like you can affirm to the fact that every weekend in Ghana there's an event, there's either a wedding, a naming ceremony, and then every weekend I go out, I get like 10,000 Ghana cedis. It would really help me. That is also entrepreneurship.
All right, but think about it this way. We would have to train teachers. Are we ready for that course?
No.
And then note that entrepreneurship is a mirror, right? We have people who would want to go into decor. We have people who want to go into architecture. We have people who want to go into gardening and all that. We have to be training the same. I don't think a teacher can actually teach all those students.
No.
It means we have to employ the services of other teachers as well. Have you thought about that? What do you think we can employ to solve that?
I feel like the math she's talking about, that one is someone's like job, someone that brought it into existence. Without an entrepreneur, we wouldn't have been learning maths right now. And I feel like in Ghana, many people have made it. Like someone like Despite, he didn't really get the formal education, but he's able to like come up with something new because of his creativity and his skills. So I feel like education is not for everybody. Right now, as you are in school, I know that like as you are in the class, some people like they are not really into books. Like if they come, whatever they will teach them, they are not getting it. But they are like talented. They can draw. They are skillful. They can make something like out of their creativity. So I feel like education is not for everybody. Yeah.
Okay.
So, Abigail, why waste your time 3 years to learn 8 courses that you not even put in use later? It's waste of time, auntie. So, entrepreneurial education over traditional courses. Thank you.
Okay, very last point.
If you even want to work in Ghana without skills, you cannot do anything because you need the skills. And I heard sometime they were like they are not going to employ military personnel, police officers and those things. So why will you go to school like you finish SHS and go to the tertiary section and then you complete and you come to the house and you will not get any job to do? I feel like if you are having like your own skill and you are creative, you can be able to fend for like yourself and then you make a living.
Okay, let me go.
So, as she said, currently, see what is going on. The offices are being filled up, and then most of the youth right now are not even getting employment. How much more us when it gets to our generation to be working? All the offices will be filled up. So, definitely.
Okay, so she hasn't spoken.
Well, I would like to add that to what she said. Most of us are being forced to go to school, forgetting our talent and our ideas. Listen, when entrepreneurship is being
Taught.
yes, in schools, it will give us a larger and a broader mind on what to become or what to do with our talents. Yes.
That's a beautiful point. Let me come to you.
I want to ask them a question. All those who are saying entrepreneurship should be added to our curriculum, do you all want to be entrepreneurs in future?
Yes, that's our dream.
No.
Their goal is to get money. Yes. The goal is to get money. And if you become entrepreneurs, you get money more than those who are doing science, doctors. They get money.
No, they do not.
We are all girls. We are into girly stuff. We love fashion. It is an entrepreneur who will bring the like tote bags that you wear, fashion. You as you are going out, every time see the question bag behind me. It is someone who designed it and the person is making money. The person has branded it. So I feel like it is just the skill and the creativity. It's not about maths and science. What has maths and science got to do with question bag? Like
Kwacha bag is not the only thing in the world.
Let's start running up.
So
if we are all entrepreneurs, who will be the doctor? If you are sick, will you go to entrepreneur to do that for you?
Already asked us that question.
And so what's this?
AJ, you're not saying that there's
Okay, due to relearning the entrepreneurship in school, some people can also set up their own private like hospitals and stuff, and they end up employing people who are graduated that were not employed into the Kwalibu and then the other big hospitals. They end up getting employed into the private hospitals as well. So as for that one, you can't say that it's because of education. So that one takes part. AJ.
Guys, let's wrap up. Final point.
One example.
AJ.
You're not coming here. Guys, okay, let me come to Karis, right? Karis.
AJ, if everyone is an entrepreneur, as Angel said, if you are sick, well, you go. You as an entrepreneur. No, that's honestly not the only points we are raising. And also, Vanessa was talking about skills. Skills are not the only things you need. When you go to apply for a job, your WASI certificate is there. The skills are just an add-on. Oh, she can speak different languages. Oh, she can do this with her hand. She can do this, she can do that. It's not all about skills. We also need our education. We need the basic foundation in senior high schools. And it should be learned. And then you also asked Kimberly a question. Should it be replaced? I don't think it should be replaced.
What if it's a priority? What if it's prioritized above any other courses we study?
It should not be prioritized because every subject is important. Every subject we study in school, there is a purpose as to why we study that subject. So it should not be prioritized. Then drop out of school.
What?
If you don't know why you are in school, drop out. Then go and be an entrepreneur.
Okay, the debate is getting so intense, but I literally have to end this now. I am Nana Joboni, and this has been Campus Vibe, and I have been interacting with students from Entrepreneurial Senior High School. Make sure you drop a comment in the comment section. Do you think we should prioritize entrepreneurship education over traditional courses? Leave a comment down there. Here are 5 practical tips on how you can start a small business while in school. 1. Start small with what you have. Look around for basic skills you already have, like braiding hair, drawing, or bead making, and start offering those services to classmates or neighbors. 2. Use your free time wisely. Use weekends, prep periods, or vacation break to work on your business without it affecting your studies. 3. Sell what students need. Identify common needs in school environments like snacks, toiletries, stationery, and sell these items to your peers. 4. Partner smartly. Team up with trusted classmates to share costs and responsibilities. It reduces pressure and increases accountability. 5. Keep it simple and legal. Make sure your business idea does not break school rules or distract you from academics. Stay disciplined and focused. This is all for the tidbits.